Hey, true crime fanatics, this is Claire.
And I'm Andy.
You're tuned in to the Homicide Hobbies podcast, which is a podcast for people who love to hear about the horrendous crimes that people commit. Enjoy. Is he there?
I think so.
Well, let me know when you know.
I think I know. I'm here now.
Well, what are my state hints?
Who said we were going to be in a state?
Now that means it is a state.
Today we'll be in a place where Hang On Sloopy is the official state rock song. It's illegal to fish for whales on Sundays in this place. Not that there's any place to do that.
Ohio.
Yeah, good job.
They have a drug problem.
They sure do, especially if they got to tell people, Sundays you can't fish for whales.
Well, that's where I was sitting there thinking I was going to say California, but when he said there's no place to fish for them, I was like, what's another place that has a drug problem?
And my other one was Lifesavers Candy was invented by Clarence Crane in 1912.
Oh, I would have guessed like a New England-y state. You should have done that one second.
Well, they were marketed as summer candy since they didn't melt like chocolate.
Now, you know what, though? We left some of those in the van growing up, and they sure do melt. They get real sticky.
Well, I feel like in 1912, not too many people had cars to leave their candy in.
The Model T?
Yeah. So
fine, if you want to go and get technical.
So I'm letting you know now, this case is
not done.
Excuse me, ma'am. Anyway, the murder we'll be discussing does occur in Ohio in 2021. Today's case is going to be a story about revenge with a range from service in the military to allegations.
I like to pick on the military here lately.
Not really. To an allegation dismissed, to a life recharted, to revenge, to tragedy. It's a messy, painful, and...
did you say a life recharted?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right.
The path is recharted. Anyway, it was
I like to see my chart.
It was a spring morning in March 2021. A group of hikers were walking off the beaten trail in a peaceful national park in Ohio when they made a grim discovery, a body, alone, hidden among the trees. The life and the death of this person would unravel a chain of grief, desperation, and shocking choices. But who was this person, and how had they come to be alone and dead in the woods? The person at the center of the story is a woman named Chelsea Perkins.
She's our body?
Shh. She's the center of the story. Just shh. She was born and raised in Virginia. As a young adult, she joined the United States Coast Guard. A uniform, a purpose, a path of service. For a while, that life offered structure and stability, the discipline of a sailor, the routine of duty, and the quiet after the storms.
There's a base in Ohio?
You aren't listening, ma'am. Whatever you're doing, stop it. I told you, in Virginia.
You said we're in Ohio. Oh, so
I said the murder's in Ohio. She's in Virginia.
But she's from Ohio, so she was stationed in Virginia?
I didn't say that. I done said she was born and raised in Virginia, and then she joined the Coast Guard.
How the heck did she get to Ohio?
I didn't say she got to Ohio. Pipe down and pay attention.
But she's dead in Ohio.
But as we often find, the calm on the surface can mask trauma. Chelsea's life, like many, held secrets. Some she would share, some she would carry alone. This is not a story about the Coast Guard. It's a story about how one woman's past, real or perceived, would collide with fate, tragedy, and revenge. Several years before the events that would unfold later in Ohio, the ones I started the case with that seemed to have really confused your brain hole.
Well, you state jumped.
I told you she was born in Virginia. How many times have we told you one place?
Yeah, but then that made me think she was in the Navy. If she was born in Virginia, what brought her out to Ohio? And then that made my brain go, is there a base in Ohio? I thought there's nothing but crackheads in Ohio.
I done told you people change their jobs. I said that at the beginning. Their charted paths.
Yeah, I wonder where my confusion came from.
Chelsea, in 2017, was around 27 years old when she opened the doors to the Virginia Beach Police Department to file a police report.
Uh-oh.
She claimed a man named Matthew Dunmire had raped her.
Did he?
The report prompted an investigation, but in the end, the case was not pursued. Prosecutors declined to bring charges against Matthew, citing insufficient evidence. From what I gathered, it was basically a he said, she said case. Now, this was during her time in the Coast Guard.
Mm. Is he in the Coast Guard?
He wasn't. I'm guessing that she
I
probably,
guess not, because the military probably would have handled that.
well, and he wasn't in the military, but it appears like they just kind of met off, like when she's off duty or something. I don't know. I couldn't find anything that really specified how they originally met.
Hmm.
But her sexual assault case was closed. The accusation remained. There would be no trial, no justice, and for Chelsea, no closure, and no consequences or vindication for Matthew. But who was Matthew Dunmire? He was born in Ohio in 1990. At some point, he relocated to Smithfield, Virginia. He was also around 26 or 27 years old when Chelsea said he raped her, so they're the same age. Matthew was an aspiring musician who grew up in Virginia and then would eventually move back to Ohio. There is no credible public record showing any prior violent criminal history for Matthew. No other accusations, no prior arrests for assault,
That's kind of weird.
at least none that remain in the public domain. Because sometimes the person you think you know isn't fully known at all.
So he did do it.
After the sexual assault case was dropped, the alleged assault would never be prosecuted. I mean, it's once it's dropped, it's dropped. And Chelsea's life would change course. She left the Coast Guard. She married a man that she had met who was in the Coast Guard. They squirted out 2 children, and she
Andrea,
began
you would
a
think somebody who also has squirted out children wouldn't use that as a description.
I could tell you, as somebody that squirted out children, it's a very disgusting, liquidy
Okay.
process.
All right. I apologize to our listeners. That was on me.
If anybody's ever had their water break,
Oh,
they get it.
please. Remember when we've had these conversations of if no one says tell me more, you can just stop.
You don't count as no one, though. You're special.
Oh.
Anyway, so she popped out those 2 kids, and then she began a different career path. She became an online adult content creator who posted homemade porn on OnlyFans and other adult websites.
Why are you getting all excited?
She went by the name Selena Savage.
I think I know who she is.
All right.
I think I heard this.
Okay. Well, it's hard to miss when you see adult film star and murder in the same sentence. It's like, what? But anyway, on paper, her life became drastically different in a span of 4 years.
Hold up.
What?
She started doing that after she was married?
And had 2 kids, yes.
Whoa.
She's now a civilian with a husband and 2 young children, a unique source of income, but beneath it all, the past remained and haunted her. By early 2021, Chelsea was separated from her husband. She still had access to some shared property, including the family car, but her personal life was fractured, her focus shifted. In her mind, the past had not been resolved.
It wasn't.
It sure fucking wasn't. Meanwhile, in a remote wooded area of a national park in Valley View, Ohio, a peaceful place meant for an escape for nature lovers, some hikers stumbled on a deceased body. A man, alone with a single gunshot wound to the back of his head.
She hunted him.
Several days passed while investigators worked quietly. Eventually, the body was identified as 31-year-old Matthew Dunmire.
Hold up. Did you not tell me it was a fella in the beginning because you wanted me to think that it was a girl?
Uh-huh.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I
feel betrayed.
Because the killing had occurred on federal land in a national park,
Oh.
the case automatically became federal. The FBI, along with the National Park Service investigative branch and state and local authorities, all stepped in, which I can tell you that had to be a cluster of a mess.
Yes, a penis measuring contest of who gets to handle what.
The FBI kind of trumped everybody. They collected evidence, GPS data, phone records, social media activity, ballistics, DNA.
I'm sure.
They tracked vehicles, they interviewed the hikers, they began to try to build a timeline. To the public, though, and more importantly, to Matthew's family, it was all still a mystery. He appeared to be just a dead man in the woods.
Because this is several years after her rape.
4 years. That's why I said her life changed quickly in a matter of 4 years. You figure in 2000,
She went from being a rape victim to married with children to a whatever adult thing.
Yeah. So, and then separated from her husband. So
Well, I'm pretty sure if I started producing adult content, Dave would probably be like, yeah, I'm out.
Well, I wasn't gonna look more into it, but I'm curious if he was her.
Sugar daddy.
Well, no, if he was the one boinking her and it was like homemade movies that they were posting, or I don't know what.
Maybe she was smushing bananas with her toes.
No. Mm-mm.
How do you know?
Because well, I mean, I guess that's more fetish, not sexual. But I guess,
Hello.
yeah. Whatever. I don't know. You can look her up on your own.
Yeah, but you could be talking to somebody and smushing bananas and know that they're getting off doing whatever you're asking.
She's referred to as a porn star in several news articles.
Maybe
So
she was enjoying the banana.
that's not enjoying it with her toes, then.
Anyway,
Can I continue?
I hope.
So
I don't know how you didn't look it up.
I am not putting that. My search history is messed up enough. I am not.
Ask to borrow Jason's phone.
Ew, no. To the public, and more importantly to Matthew's family, it was all still a mystery. He appeared to be just a dead man in the woods. A name, yes, but no arrests, no suspects, and no answers.
Hey, I have a question.
Hmm.
Since he wasn't, but this was a serious one. Since it didn't go through, when they identify him, would they have that he was initially like
Yes.
that rape? Okay.
So Matthew's family was grief stricken, heartbroken, and simply did not want to wait any longer for answers. His mother, her name is Tommie Lynn Dunmire, so don't get hung up on the fact that she's got a boy name.
Her mom's probably named Randy.
Well, I plan to call her Tommie Lynn so we don't confuse her, but
Why is she married to a Tommie that's a he?
no, she's married. She's not married, but
Oh.
his mother, Tommie Lynn Dunmire, was haunted by the loss of her son. She began her own search for justice. She refused to wait on the red tape that was delaying the finding of her son's killer.
So she's going on a hunt.
By November of 2021, 8 months after the body of her son was found, Tommie Lynn told her longtime partner, John McQuillan, she cracked the case of her murdered son wide open. She and John hopped in the car and drove roughly 360 miles from Norfolk, Virginia to Washington, D.C. Tommie was dressed in a disguise. She wore a brown vest, a brown cap, and carried a cardboard box.
What?
A little after 9:30 p.m., Tommie Lynn knocked on an apartment door and identified herself as a UPS worker delivering a package. As a woman opened the door, Tommie Lynn fired 2 shots from the revolver she was holding inside an opening cut out of the back of the cardboard box she was holding. Both shots Tommie Lynn fired struck the woman in the abdomen.
How did they know who did it?
She did her research. Tommie Lynn and John fled from the DC apartment. They stopped and changed the license plate on the car, but law enforcement caught up to them quickly. My guess is people saw them drive off but didn't see the tags, so police issued a be on the lookout for that vehicle and the model and probably a color, which, by the way, the vehicle was a Honda Pilot SUV.
It probably doesn't help them that they probably took the tag with them.
Right. Well, police spot the vehicle matching the bolo and issue a traffic stop. Tommie Lynn knew she would be facing murder charges. Rather than be held accountable, the grief-stricken mother turned the same gun on herself and pulled the trigger.
Oh.
Tommie Lynn Dunmire would die in the hospital 2 weeks later.
This is like a Quentin Tarantino tale. Everybody's going to be dead at the end.
This story was freaking nuts. And to make matters worse or more tragic, the shooting was for nothing. It was a case of mistaken identity.
Oh, what the fuck? They shot somebody that... I'm telling you, Ohio is a real problem.
They're in Virginia, and she went to D.C.
Yes, but these people are from Ohio, aren't they? Her boy?
She squirted them out in Ohio, then moved to Virginia and raised them.
So she's an Ohioan. They need to contain them, just like the people in Indiana.
Well, Tommie Lynn shot an innocent woman. The woman had
herself. What a fucking moron.
The woman had absolutely nothing to do with her son's murder. That woman does survive, traumatized.
Oh, yeah, she's never getting a post office or a UPS package ever.
Ever. Tommie Lynn's partner, John, the father figure to Matthew, he was arrested. John tried to plead his case, stating that it was all Tommie Lynn. She had continued her research.
He just screwed on the license plate.
Well, he said she continued her research.
Does she know how to read?
He stated, Tommie Lynn's mental health began deteriorating, and she expressed rage and, she desired to confront and possibly kill the woman she believed was responsible for the murder. But he didn't know that she was planning to actually do it.
How old was he?
Oh, she was 54 and I think he was like 60.
Old enough to know better.
To know way better. And he claimed that
Gosh, were they on drugs?
no, he claimed he thought she was just all talk and because she was upset that
You don't dress as a UPS person, drive out to somebody's house armed.
360 miles armed,
Just go in for a stroll.
cut a hole in the box to stick your weapon in. Sure.
He didn't know she was going to kill herself?
I think that was probably just like a
Spontaneous.
yeah. He told police he didn't know what she was going to do, but he felt he had to drive her. I had to go with her. The part that really messed with his "I'm innocent, I promise" defense
It was his gun?
was that after Tommie Lynn shot a woman, he drove the getaway car. He pulled over to swap the tags to try to evade police. So John was eventually convicted of accessory after the fact to assault with the intent to kill. He was sentenced to 42 months in prison.
He's lucky.
Yeah.
He must have been real stupid to interview.
In seeking revenge, Tommie Lynn and John destroyed yet another life, another family broken, another tragedy rooted in grief, and they completely destroyed their own family. What Tommie Lynn didn't know was that behind the scenes, investigators never stopped working on Matthew's case. It wasn't a cold case. They're just waiting on the red tape of all the penis measuring that they had going on.
This is so much information because when you talk about like the rape initially, there's so much.
There's so much, but
it is sad how long it does take
yeah.
to do a murder.
But also, I'd rather them take their time and get the right person.
Right.
As long as they're working on it. But it wasn't as expedited as she would have liked. And the FBI had followed the digital trail, car rentals, gun purchases, phone pings, social media trails. And just 1 month after Matthew's mom, Tommie Lynn, had shot that innocent woman and committed suicide, just 1 month later, all those paths, all the red tape of getting the data, DNA, ballistics, all of that behind the scenes investigating led the FBI to one name, the adult film star Chelsea Perkins.
So if she would have shot the right gal.
Kinda, yeah.
Is that who she thought it was and then just tracked down the wrong one?
I don't know. They kept all that hush-hush, but I'm pretty sure because Chelsea had moved all over the place. I think it was like a previous address. And you know how if you like look up somebody's...
God.
Yeah.
That sucks even more for that lady. At least she lived, though.
Right.
Traumatized, but...
severely traumatized. Like 9:30 at night, you're getting a package and you get shot by some crazy lady. But on December 9th, 2021, the FBI arrested Chelsea at her Alexandria, Virginia address for the murder of Matthew Dunmire. It was a total of 9 months after Matthew's murder, a federal grand jury indicted her. A suspect was finally named, just too late to stop the sheer destruction and devastation of Matthew's family. On May 27th, 2025, Chelsea Perkins pled guilty to second-degree murder and using or carrying a firearm during a crime of violence on federal property. Her reasoning for pleading guilty was to avoid the life in prison plus 10-year sentence that she was facing for the first-degree murder charges. As part of her guilty plea, she needed to admit to exactly what happened. Chelsea confessed about 1 month before the murder of Matthew. She had messaged a friend on Facebook asking, "How does he live with himself?" She also wrote, "He will get his someday." By early March, she reconnected with Matthew Dunmire. The pair reestablished contact over social media, the same man she had once accused of rape just 4 years prior.
Did she not seek therapy?
I'm going to guess not. On March 3rd, 2021, Chelsea accepted Matthew's friend request on Facebook.
What?
Yep.
That low down.
Right. I can tell you if I said some guy raped me, I'm not going to be his friend on Facebook. I'm not going to reach out to him unless it's like a...
He was being an asshole.
Well...
How did she not have him blocked?
I don't know. Well, I don't know. On that same day, she reportedly posted on her Facebook page, "Dead men tell no tale."
Oh, what a moron.
Chelsea hopped in the family car and drove 300 miles from Virginia to Ohio. On March 5th, 2021, during a night out drinking with coworkers, Matthew told them he was planning to meet up with a girl who was staying in the area for the weekend.
Oh my God, who wanted around too?
A coworker saw him get into a white car with Virginia plates and saw that the white car was being driven by a brunette female.
Can I just say, what the fuck is wrong with the menfolk that he would even entertain doing anything with a woman who once said he potentially raped her?
Right. I was like, okay,
What the fuck
if
is wrong
he
with these Ohioans?
if he really raped her, why would she reach out? Like, what?
Right.
And if
I'm so
he didn't
confused.
rape her, she's batshit crazy.
Then he should be pit.
Right. So I don't understand how these two reconnected at all. And it's not like they were teenagers and it was a misunderstanding or some weird explain away a rape accusation. No, they're both in their late 20s when that happened. I I I could
I'm
not.
so confused.
Right. But anyway, his coworker sees him hop in the white car driven by a brunette woman, and that car would later be identified as being Chelsea's estranged husband's vehicle.
Oh,
That night, Chelsea and Matthew
oh
spent the night
gosh.
together at an Airbnb in Ohio, and they engaged in sexual activity that evening. It was intimate and consensual.
I'm so confused still. Like,
Right. A detail that makes events of the following day even more chilling.
they had breakfast together.
The next day, on March 6, 2021, Chelsea drove with Matthew to the Terra Vista Nature Study Area in the Valley View National Park in Ohio. They walked deep into the woods, going off the trail where it was remote and isolated. Once deep in the woods, she pulled out a 9mm handgun and shot him in the back of the head, execution style. He died alone among the trees, only to be found by hikers 3 days later. After shooting Matthew, Chelsea fled the area. She left his body. She tried to cover her tracks, deleting phone data, attempting to fake a suicide note, but he got shot in the back of the head. So I don't know anybody that shoots themselves and they
Is
go,
that flexible other than a Cirque du Soleil lady?
right. But then Chelsea drives to Michigan, where she got a tattoo of a noose
Oh,
before returning home to Virginia.
what?
Yeah,
She's not wrapped tight.
she sure isn't. But she left trace evidence. His and her DNA was on the gun. The ballistics match was definitive. Justice would come, but too late for him, and too late for so many. Her defense lawyers noted prior trauma, including the unprosecuted sexual assault allegation and her PTSD, but the judge, after reviewing all the evidence, emphasized that the killing was calculated, cold, and final.
It sure fucking was.
On September 9th, 2025, a federal judge sentenced Chelsea Perkins to 270 months, also known as 22 and a half years, in federal prison. I don't know
I think
why
it's weird when they try to do it in months.
I was like
200 months. What?
yeah, that's like when somebody's like, "How old's your baby?" "Oh, he's 465 weeks old."
You know
I
what?
don't
I'm
know.
gonna start doing that. But like, how old is Dave turning?
After she would serve her 22 and a half years in federal prison, she would follow that up with 5 years of supervised probation. This wasn't just a crime between two adults. Matthew Dunmire was also a father of two. Chelsea Perkins was also a mother of two. And while a courtroom delivered a sentence, it could not restore what was taken. 4 children will grow up shaped by a crime that they had no part in. They will carry a loss that will never make headlines. The law reached its verdict, but for grief, for memory, and for the lives left behind, there's no true closure. And now, I'm going to send you.
What they look like?
Uh-huh.
I'm just still stuck on the rape accusation and then she meets up with him.
Right.
Maybe he didn't remember who she was. And that maybe her sudden change of her adult film career thing, maybe she's got a whole lot of fake hair, a whole lot of makeup, so he can't put a finger on why she looks familiar. Maybe he thinks she looks familiar because he likes to whack off to porn. I don't know. Because I've heard that, like, you pop up on people's Facebook, like, if you stalk them, it'll pop up as you might know this person for them. So maybe that's why he sent a friend request, because he just saw tits and was like, friend request. And then
Yeah.
she was like, that some bitch. And then went crazy. Not that it was a far travel for her. Oh, she looks crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, mind you, she's posing with a gun.
An underwear or a bikini.
Okay, he is not what I pictured.
No, he's a tall, lanky, scrawny dude.
I think he doesn't fit it. What's wrong with his legs?
I don't know. He's a very skinny feller. He doesn't look like he grew into his man body yet.
And you know what? She's not what I pictured for an adult film person.
Did you picture someone attractive?
I like the top picture that almost looks like a wig and not a good one. And I don't not really understanding the stance there.
She's airing it out.
Mm, look what it did to her leggings in the bottom.
They're melted off.
It done torn them. Looks like she wrestled a tiger with those leg things. It's not a good look.
No.
And is that a fanny pack?
Mm, which picture?
The bottom left. What do you mean, which picture? There's nothing on her in the first one.
Well, I sent you a total of 3 pictures.
In one picture.
Yeah, but then I sent you 2 others.
Oh, that was still. So it's not a wig.
Mm-mm.
They blurred out her flicking. That wasn't you that blurred out her
No,
flicking.
that's not me.
I'm just checking. 'Cause I was gonna say
She's airing out her vagina on a picture. I'm not going to sit here and fuzz out her flicking the camera off.
he looks like he wants to be a bad boy, but it looks like
He belongs on Love on the Spectrum.
well, he doesn't look like an intimidating feller. In that picture where she's flicking it off, she really needed to wash her hair.
She looks like she needs to wash everything. He looks like Travis Barker, like super scrawny, skinny.
Travis Barker on meth.
Like he looks tall and skinny, and there's not much to him.
He skipped leg day.
And arm day, and chest day.
No, but I was picturing like a real fake boobs, fake hair, fake all the things, but I don't know how he wouldn't have been able to recognize her.
Right.
Because I would think if somebody accuses you of rape, that you'd remember what they look like.
I mean, I personally wouldn't forget, but that's just me.
Maybe a notice out there to the ladies. I don't know if she was, but if you're not raped, don't say that you are. And for the fellers out there, that if you're accused of rape by somebody you didn't rape, maybe don't date them casually. They're already crazy.
Yeah. Oh, I just found that somebody had started a GoFundMe for her.
Her porn career didn't take off.
I don't know if this is her husband or not, so I'm not going to post this picture, but I'm going to share it to you. She definitely exudes trash. I hate saying that, but
Um,
I wouldn't take a picture of me holding Jason's junk out on the out in public.
does his shirt say Creep Fest?
I would assume or Creed, because it looks like it might be a concert shirt. But then again, that picture's holding a knife. I don't know.
Who's Holly Livingston?
They're friends of Chelsea's. I opened up her GoFundMe. They've raised almost $6,000 to put on Chelsea's commissary. Kind of disgusting that they're raising money for her, but there was a judgment ordered for restitution for her to pay to Matthew's family, and
They should take
that's
that GoFundMe.
that's still ongoing because I saw one thing that it was almost 600,000 that she's supposed to pay to his family.
They'll never see that.
I don't know how much money she was making off of her adult filming, but like that's a lot of money. But she's contesting that. So on her GoFundMe, that Holly Livingston, apparently Chelsea had emailed her and she put a screenshot on there that said, "Hey, Honeycup, it's been crazy because the cops in here support me saying I did what I had to do and they're not judging me." So she's got people that support her because she says she was raped. And
Yeah, so it looks like she got vengeance. The problem I have is that I don't know. It was so far after the fact, and she met up with him, had casual sex. Like my brain glitches at that.
right. That's the part that for me I couldn't wrap my head around. And then not saying that a rapist has a specific look, but his friends and family say that he just wasn't an aggressive feller. It seems so out of character, and he'd never been accused of anything before. He wasn't accused of anything after. So I would be more curious to know the details of the alleged rape of, was it she drank too much and they were dating and he had sex with her while she was not conscious, because I realize that's also not acceptable. However, it's not your assault, and you know what I mean? Like, I need to know some facts around the rape. But then to know his mom went and friggin' shot somebody else, I was just like, this case is just wild.
Yeah.
But
She's real weird looking. I can't get over that one. So who's Holly Livingston?
her friend.
Oh.
There were all kinds of news articles too that were like Coast Guard vet turned porn star leads alleged rapist to the woods and shoots him. And I was just like, oh, Clara will have fun with this one. Hey, I've got 3 potential titles for this one. Which one do you like? A revenge killing, collateral damage, or a mother's revenge?
What else you got?
That's all I got. What do you got?
What's UPS's slogan? It's like the people in brown are like,
The people in brown never let you down. I don't know.
let's see. What can brown do for you?
I'm not.
No.
Especially because she didn't legitimately work for UPS.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I've got on Chelsea Perkins.
Thank you for listening to Homicide Hobbies. I'm Claire.
I'm Andy.
Follow us each week to get your fix of the atrocities that occur in true crime. And don't forget to tell people about us and rate us if you like us. But don't rate us if you didn't. Just change the channel.